Working on the muscles of the anterior thigh, we're going to begin with a muscle group called the Quadriceps Femoris muscle group. There are 4 muscles in this group, and the first one is Rectus Femoris. Our second one is Vastus Lateralis. The third is going to be Vastus Intermedius, and one thing I want to note with Vastus Intermedius is that it is deep or underneath Rectus Femoris. Also with Vastus Intermedius, it has a lot of tendon to the muscle compared to the rest of them. So that's another way or hint to figure out what you're looking at. We also have Vastus Medialis on the inside or medial aspect of the anterior thigh. Sartorius is a muscle that's really long and it's very skinny compared to the rest of these muscles. And it's going to go across the thigh almost like a sash. So as we take a look here, our first muscle we'll start with is the Rectus Femoris, which is right here. And it actually is going to originate on the anterior inferior iliac spine and the top of the acetabulum. Now, if we follow these fibers, where it's going to insert is to the base of the patella through that quadriceps tendon. What the Rectus Femoris does, and actually what all of the Quadriceps Femoris muscles do, is they extend the knee, which means when the action is applied, it's actually applied all the way across here. So when the muscle contracts, it's going to pull the patella up, which the patella is going to be connected to that tibial tuberosity through the patellar ligament and causes the lower leg to straighten out, which is extension of the knee. Now, one thing you do want to note is Rectus Femoris. We'll put a star and we'll highlight the name and put a star by it. Rectus Femoris is special. It is the only Quadriceps Femoris muscle that has a second action. And what it also does is it flexes the femur. And it does that because its origin actually starts on the hip. So it has an action across the hip. And then it also has that action on the leg. Now, all the Quadriceps Femoris muscles are also going to be innervated by a single nerve called the femoral nerve that will be covered a little bit later on. Vastus Lateralis is going to be right here. You can see how the fibers are going to be different than the Rectus Femoris. And where it's going to originate is on the greater trochanter and on the lateral lip of the linea aspera, more proximal, so closer to where that attaches. It's also, same thing, going to insert on the base of the patella. It's also going to extend the knee, and it's also going to be innervated by the femoral nerve. Vastus Medialis is right here. It almost looks like a little teardrop on the leg. You see the fibers coming this direction. Now, it's going to actually originate on the medial lip of the linea aspera. And same thing, inserts to the base of the patella through the quadriceps tendon. It's also going to extend the knee, and it's innervated by femoral nerve. Vastus Intermedius we'll cover here in just a second, but it's actually underneath Rectus Femoris, so I need to cut Rectus Femoris out to see it. Sartorius is another muscle that's pretty easy to see here, this long, skinny muscle. Now, Sartorius is going to originate on the anterior superior iliac spine, so above where that Rectus Femoris originated. Sartorius is also going to insert on the proximal medial aspect of the tibia. Now, what Sartorius is going to be doing is it causes flexion of the thigh and knee, and it'll also do it'll assist in that lateral rotation. And it's going to be innervated by femoral nerve as well. Now, on this picture, this little cartoon picture here, we have our Quadriceps Femoris muscle groups. We have Rectus Femoris, Vastus Lateralis, Vastus Medialis, and then if we cut Rectus Femoris out, that's where we have Vastus Intermedius here. Now, Vastus Intermedius is going to originate on the anterior surface of the shaft of the femur. It's also going to insert the same place through the quadriceps tendon to the base of the patella. It's also going to extend the knee, and it's innervated by femoral nerve. And one last thing I want to note here is you can see just how much tendon it has compared to the rest of them.